Phil Foden, huge positive last night, wasn't he, against Dortmund, beating them 4-1 in the Champions League. His manager, Pep, said that he's back, and his performance almost overshadowed the man behind you, Erling Haaland. You were there. How impressive was Phil Foden? Could you take your eyes off him?
You couldn't. I think, obviously, he was just trying to find his way, and then it happened straight away. In that number sort of 10 position, he's always looking. I think that's his favourite position. When it's coming down that right-hand side, he's looking to get on it, and he just scans, has a little look over his shoulder, and he allows that space. We've seen Kevin De Bruyne do it for many years. He's learnt possibly off him. Pulls it on the left foot. The first one was a really strong effort into the goalkeeper. And from there on, I felt like, well, he'll grow. He should have done better in that situation. But he's finding his feet. He's enjoying his football. But actually, the goal that he got, it was a similar again, across the body. He just used the defender, but he caressed this one. He used it really nice. And then from there on, he was confident. He was playing well. He was assisting. And then his second goal was fantastic. Tight under his feet, dug it out, similar finish, which was even harder. And then he could have got his hat-trick, but he wasn't selfish. He stood one up to the back post, Savinho volleying over. All-round game, very good. And what he was really good at, he was excellent out of possession. He's had a hunger and a sharpness about him, and he's got a point to prove. And I think straight away it stood up, done it? England squad coming out, I need to be in it.
Yeah, we will talk about that in length in just a moment. But interestingly, you talked about the position that he's in. Yeah. Dave, you've got more on that, haven't you?
Yeah, and in particular what Michael was talking about there, some of his out-of-possession work and where he is on the pitch, because over the last couple of years, Phil Foden's position has changed slightly. We're going to show you exactly how it has changed, because Pep Guardiola said he was back to his best, and has the head coach unlocked a new and improved all-round player. Foden spent the treble-winning season mostly on the left-hand side, but if we look at his heat map since that season, you'll notice changes, really, in each campaign. In 23-24, City won the Premier League again, with Foden posting his best goal return of his career with 27 in all competitions. He spent most of his time there on the right-hand side. Moving on to last season, Foden couldn't reach those same heights. His minutes were diminished, and when he did play, his role was slightly more inside, really, from the previous season, in and around that number 10 role. Now we get to this current campaign. The first thing you'll notice that he's spending more time in lots of different areas of the pitch. Yes, still in those attacking areas, right and left in those number 10 half spaces there, but also down here as well, on the halfway line and in his own defensive half. So what is going on there? Well, this season, Foden is getting involved in the first phase of build-up. What do we mean by that? This is when teams are aiming to progress the ball through the thirds of the pitch from defence to attack. It can be from the goalkeeper or the defence in open play. Now, either Rodri or Nico Gonzalez still the conductors for Manchester City, but Foden is being used in this phase more than ever before. The numbers aren't massive here, but it is a significant increase of his passes in that phase per 90 minutes. We've got some examples here of Foden in that first phase. This is from the game against Bournemouth at the Etihad. Foden comes deep, opens up the angle here and bounces the ball to the opposite centre-back. And Foden's skill set is actually quite useful in some of these positions. Here's a cross from Bournemouth. Foden inside his own penalty area. That first touch is incredible, takes it away from danger. Good in tight spaces, Foden, able to wriggle away from pressure and crucially retain the ball there as well. But not his typical movements, you would say, from Foden's previous winger or number 10 role. And again, it's a similar action here to the first one we showed, this time against Brentford. Foden collecting the ball off the goalkeeper and moving it on to a centre-back. And Foden continued that roaming role against Dortmund in the Champions League. Here is where he had his touches on the pitch, with a significant number, actually, significant share, in his own half and in the defensive third of the pitch. He even finished the game down on the right-hand side as well. We think that might affect his goal and assist output? Not on the evidence of last night, because crucially he's still able to get into these positions here where last night he was lethal. Foden is back. He's all new. He's all round. Should Foden be back in the England squad, Michael?
Nice, easy one. It's an obvious answer from me, what he brings. But, you know, when you look at his setup, he's wanted to play in the middle of the pitch for some time. But I think now if you get Haaland stretching it, what do you do as a defensive line? You get a full-back coming to join in the middle. Reinders also breaks it quicker from back to front, so City can stretch it quicker, which allows a little bit more space for Phil Foden. He can operate around, he can drop in like a number 8, get on the half-turn, as we've mentioned, but he'll just find himself in different areas. So we're looking at the England squad and we're sort of saying, well, where does he find himself? He'll want to play central. We can say, well, Saka might be down the right. We've seen him play on your heat maps there, heavily on that right-hand side. But notably, he wants to be more central. I feel like he could have Declan Rice, we could have Bellingham, we could have a Foden. If he's playing anywhere near to the level of his ability, with confidence, then he has to go into that 11. He doesn't have to just be in the squad. He's got to find room to play him. He's won so many things. He can change games. He's got that flexibility to do different things. And I think he's maturing now, understanding the role of how the game's going, and he can adapt in game. Yes, we didn't see the best of him for last season for whatever those reasons, but we're starting to see that now. He needs a good Manchester City side bringing him through, but now England have got to take him. If we're going to try and really challenge for success in the summer, Foden's got to be there.
Yeah, and in terms of like that confidence that a performance like that will bring, when you're playing slightly in a slightly different role than you're used to. I mean, you did that, didn't you? When you went to Spurs from Sheffield United, they played you in a slightly, I think, was it a deeper role?
Yeah, it was a deeper role, because I looked as well, as in you sort of look and you sort of go, well, I was playing for Sheffield United, why I got my move to Spurs is because I'm scoring goals, I'm in an advanced position.
Yeah.
But then you go to Spurs and you go, right, well, I've got a different challenge on here. Maybe I'm not as good as those players in that area, and I see a gap to go and try and change that. And I think he's done that for so long. We've seen Nico O'Reilly come in now at left back, but really he's a midfielder. Phil Foden wanted to play central, but he's been out on the right. He's been trusted heavily against Liverpool on the left-hand side for some seasons as well by Pep Guardiola. But, you know, this was always going to be the marker, wasn't it? Of being in the middle, in and around the pitch, where he can do different things. His ability, how he changes his feet and changes direction so quickly. It's great to see him enjoying his football again because we missed him so much last season. That's a given. But yeah, I think he's ready to adapt. And for Thomas Tuchel, if he has to go and say, well, OK, we've got 2 or 3, who can play across those 3? There's others who can certainly. But I feel like the dynamics of the recovery runs, better out of possession he's getting, is going to give him a little bit of the nod.